Hello, the minutes after writing. It's July 19, but this is for July 18, and we start writing at 6:45 p.m. and right now it's 6:21 p.m. So it's 1440 minus 24, right?
Yeah.
So it's minus
1416.
1416 minutes after writing.
Yo.
All right.
You want me to go?
Sure. Kind of tired. Go ahead.
Yeah. I can tell. So yesterday's writing, filming for today.
Yeah. So July 18 writing.
Yeah, July 18th writing. What we had written. What the fuck did we write?
I was really grouchy, remember? Because we had to write during that.
Oh shit! I remember now. Whenever I see the grouchy, yeah. Okay. I remember now. Okay, so we had written about a character, and it stretched across. I thought it was going to be less pages than it actually turned out to be. And Brandon knew in advance that it was going to be a pretty long character introduction / exploration kind of situation. And typical Brandon fashion is like, God, you're so terrible at calculating this shit. And he's right. And we finished it in its entirety in a single day. Rough as hell. I want to say for me, that writing experience, I didn't tell you. I was running on fumes in so many ways, wrapping that up, that it was highly reminiscent of the feeling of burnout and not being able to write the very next day. But upon completing it and just owning the fact that I wanted to go through with finishing it, for the first time ever since I've been writing, I felt not accomplished, not that sense of accomplishment that I've talked about before, but more like what Brandon always feels when he writes. When Brandon has been exhausted and he can write and he can still love the work, even though he can't really feel the work when it's over, he knows it's good. I felt that for the first time after writing that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was proud of what we had written. I knew it worked, and I was tired as fuck, and I didn't want to think about it at all after we were done.
Yeah, that was definitely me.
Yeah, and I had never felt that before. Because I'm always second guessing. I'm always like, unless I can enjoy. He's yawning. I'm always like, if I'm burnt out and Brandon's stressed and whatnot, something went wrong, it's wrong, and it's created incorrectly, blah, 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 blah. But no, this time I knew that we had done an excellent job. We accomplished what we set out to do, and there was nothing to question. It was complete. And I never felt that ever before, that it was complete with all the stress I'd mounted, with Brandon's stress, combined with my own self-doubts of what I had created, plus the feeling of burnout. Because as a result, we were able to write extremely well again today.
Yeah.
July 19th. I'm just finishing up with the Altoids. So that was awesome. But the thing was, I kept it to myself. Because Brandon was in no mood to keep talking about work. And in the older days, I would have brought it up anyway, because I would have been uncomfortable that Brandon was uncomfortable, and I like to try and break the mood by bringing up something nice. And that irritates Brandon to no degree, and I get that. Well, there's no place for it. Brandon's in a bad mood. Don't force him to not be. And I know this.
Well, yeah, because that's me. Yeah,
and I got that. And even when I did get it, I didn't always listen to it. But this time I did. This time, I was just like, no, this is just how I feel, and I'm feeling great, so I'm just going to keep it for myself. And so it's kind of fun talking about it right now. And I've learned from this guy how to really appreciate my abilities as a creator and not doubt it, that I can accomplish it, and I will not even burn myself out the next day. So that's what that experience was like for me writing yesterday. And really, it was just the biggest hurdle about that was, one, well, there was something else we had to deal with, to talk about before we wrote, so it had nothing to do with writing. That took up a chunk of time, but it was good. Yeah. But even if that had not existed, the scene itself, the segment itself, was, volume-wise, a lot to tackle, a lot to think about, a lot to create.
Yes.
So just the endurance to create something like that in a single sitting was difficult as hell. And we ended up only finishing it on a second session, pulling a double, as we say, which we don't like doing anymore. Made it particularly stressful. And yet we completed it.
Well, also particularly stressful is that these past couple of weeks I've had bad sleep.
Yes. Brandon has stated very clearly about his sleep that unless he gets not incredible,
Well, the sleep I like.
Yeah, the sleep that he likes.
Whatever it is, unless I get the sleep I like.
Where he feels rested.
It's hard for me to do anything throughout the day without my good sleep. So and writing is without doubt the hardest thing in my day. So that also made it really tough because for me, when the sun's out, I like the sun for me personally. Not when it's really hot, but it's more just what for me the sun.
The sight of it, right?
Yeah, the sight of it. For me, what the sun carries for me, it wakes me up and I feel good. So as time goes on, when it gets darker, I actually get tired. So that's why, thankfully, we're never going to do that again.
Yeah. As a result, as long as Brandon has an unrestful sleep the night prior, we will not be writing into the night.
Not even tonight. They even getting even into tonight. It's just the idea that the sun goes down.
As the sun starts to be less shiny where we are. And we finish the writing as stated in the very beginning, thanks to Brandon stating the times. Now, we don't always do that. I'm glad you state the times and the dates now. It's just nice. It's nice consistency. Brandon's very consistent like that. Yes. We finished at 6:30, and it was the sun wasn't completely down, but it certainly wasn't bright out. It wasn't certain the kind that energizes Brandon.
And also, to reiterate, this segment was really long.
Yeah. So, with all that in mind, Brandon came to the conclusion that no, he can write those without the use of a bright sun. Kind of like Superman. Without the sun, and he got the Lex Luthor cut. Without the sun, but only if he has restful sleep.
Yes.
So today was another day of non-restful sleep. So we will talk about today's writing in the next video. But as for yesterday's video, it was successful, it was stressful, and we learned from it. And thankfully, I kept to myself all the bad habits that normally push Brandon's buttons. I did it for myself and for Brandon. You didn't know any of it. I'm only talking about it today.
No.
So, I'm set. I'm. You got anything?
No, it was stressful as fuck. I never want to do that shit again. So, no. And we won't. Well, I'm done, Garrett.
Yeah, set. See you next video.
See you next video.